let's play a little hypothetical here for a moment, okay? Hypothetically speaking, let's say that I wanted to instigate a fight with the Ontario Hockey League over its instigating rule. So to instigate that fight, I drive myself to the OHL head offices. I don't make an appointment. I barge right through those doors, past the front desk, no matter what, and I find my way to the commissioner's office. Nobody is stopping me on my way to that office. And when I get into the commissioner's office, I sweep everything off the desk in front of him, and then I point my finger in his nose, and I say, Commissioner, you and me are going to settle this instigating thing once and for all, and I'm not leaving your office until we've got it settled. I think it would be fair to say that is me instigating the fight, the argument, the conflict with the Ontario Hockey League. In reality, I really do think we have to reevaluate the rule as it is written in the OHL. It reads as follows for instigating. An instigator of an altercation shall be a player who by his actions or demeanor clearly pursues an opponent who is a non-willing combatant, attacks or jumps his opponent, and proceeds to throw punches. This, to me, is perfect. You don't want players running around the ice chasing after other players and starting a fight with them when that other player is unwilling. That kind of thuggery has no place in the game. But let me tell you what brings this up. We had an incident in a Kitchener-Sudbury game the other week where the instigator of the fight was determined to be the player who tapped the other player on the shin pads. Now, here's how it played out. A player on Sudbury lays a pretty good body check, clean, solid, on a Kitchener Ranger player. One of those Ranger players' teammates stands up to that Sudbury player and says, no, that's not how it's going to be. So he taps him on the shin pads, they look at each other, yep, we're doing this, down go the gloves, and the fight begins. But the Ranger player, presumably, for that tap on the shin pads, was deemed the aggressor or the instigator in the fight. Now, let me be clear about this, too. The referees on the ice that night got the call absolutely correct because the instigator rule in the Ontario Hockey League goes on to say, if after a legal or illegal hit, a teammate of the player hit immediately confronts his opponent and a fight ensues, the player confronting the opponent would be deemed the instigator of the altercation. Can we take that part out of the rule? There's other stuff in there about retaliating for incidents in prior games. Makes sense. We don't want that staged stuff happening. We don't want something happening on a Friday night and then in the Sunday afternoon, back into the home and home, somebody pays for what happened on the Friday night. But in this case, what we had, even though by the letter of the rule, the league and the officials on the ice got it right, nobody was unwilling in that fight. Little tap on the shin pads, little nod of understanding. Here we go. I think we need some discretion in here for the officials to make a determination on the ice whether or not one of those combatants was unwilling. Because the way we've got it right now, what we're basically saying is we don't want you to fight. And if that's what we want, then that's what we need to say. We need to be clear about that. But as long as we're going to allow the fighting, we have to clean up this instigator rule just a little bit. No thuggery, no goonery, no chasing players around the ice, but if after a hit, clean or otherwise, two guys say, yep, we're going to do this, and nobody is unwilling in that fight, then we have to say the instigator penalty would be taken away. There's no way you should get a 2, 5, and a 10 for something like that because actions have consequences, and we can't let the rats run the game. Let's reevaluate the instigating rule. I'm Farwell. It's Friday. I'll see you at the rink.